bring all your documents and make sure you have the correct visas for wherever you're going. I was like, okay, sure. He was like, yeah, have a good day. Sir, excuse me, sorry, you don't want to ask me anything else? You have nothing else to ask me? So you mean I waited 4 hours for you for you to flick your hand through my files? Yeah, no, I was not a happy bunny at all. The hood want it. What you need, baby, then you should want it. Wanna be that living process. You could be greater, babe. You could be greater. What's going on, my genies? It's your girl Jeenies, and I'm back. I am back, indeed. I thought I would finally do. Before we get into this, right? I mentioned it in my last vlog, but I've done something with my camera. The settings is just completely off. I don't know what I touched or messed with or moved, but like I feel as if that, I don't know if it's the lens or if it's just the shape of like the width of how it's filming, but it's annoying me because it's like, why is it nearly cutting off my head? Anyway, I'll try and sort it out for the next video. Just bear with me. But yeah, I hope you guys have been doing well. Hope you've been enjoying the content. I'm really trying to stick to this 2 days a week videos. I'm trying to make sure I'm giving you guys content that you want to see, as much as me sticking to content that I genuinely enjoy filming anyways. I've had a good day so far, pretty chilled. It's the time of the month, so your girl is in agony, darling, absolute agony, but we're pushing through. I wanted to come on here and kind of do a video in regards to my visa, because a lot of you have been messaging me on Instagram and Snapchat about how I managed to get my visa, because I think I said, I can't remember what my exact words were, but I told you guys that I managed to get it quite quickly. I think it literally took me like 2 months to get my visa for Canada. So I'm going to explain all things visa, work permits, and how to do it, and I'm going to try and like give you guys as much details as possible. I don't actually have my laptop, so I'm kind of going off memory and like old notes that I'd written down like before, so just bear with me. I will also link anything in the description that you guys can like use to start your application, or even if you just wanted to do some research. I will link some websites in the description below, so make sure you check that. Got my notes here, so if you see me looking down, you know what I'm looking at. But yeah, before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers ASAP. I know it's a small milestone, but I realized, I was like, girl, you're really not taking this shit seriously, because I think I was sat on like 50 for like a while because I just wasn't pushing it enough. Okay, I wasn't being consistent. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the video, and I'm going to try and give you guys as much details as possible. I know there are probably some more informative videos out there in regards to visas and stuff. But this particular visa, I am on a work permit, a working holiday permit. It's a 2-year visa, and it is specifically for Canada. So there's obviously different ones that you can get. So everyone's is going to be different depending on what you're going for. I'm a single woman who just wanted to travel and experience working in another environment. I did not have a job offer before, coming to Canada. I did not have, there wasn't like an opportunity or anything over here as to why I got up and came here. It was more or less me just wanting to travel and experience working somewhere else. So with that being said, the first thing that you're going to need to do is establish why and what you want to do, and what your reasons are for moving to Canada, because, as much as it's exciting going to a new place, everywhere has its challenges. So I feel like you really need to be prepared and kind of know what what your purpose is. Like, I just really wanted to travel, meet new people, and kind of get out of the UK. That was my reason. So anything that I needed to do or anything that needed to be done in order for that to happen, I did. So the website, you can go on www.canada.ca /IEC program. I will link it in the description, but it's an international experience Canada. I think that's what it stands for. But yeah, so you want to make an account with IEC, with the Canadian International Experience website. You want to make an account with them, and you want to enter a pool. So basically how the whole application thing works is you enter a pool. So you make an account, you then enter yourself into the application system. You can't just apply for the visa straight up. You have to be chosen to apply, basically. Now, guys, remember I said this shit did not take me long. Okay, this did not take me long at all. I probably got my visa within 2 months. However, I've heard other things where people have said that it's taken them a lot longer to achieve getting their visa. And, you know, it's different for everybody. Everyone meets different criterias and X, Y, and Z. However, you want to enter the pool. Once you've entered the pool, they then pick at random like a bunch of people. I can't remember how many people it is a week, but they choose a certain amount of people from however many thousands of people that have entered every week. I think it was Friday when I applied. Every Friday they would enter a group of people into the pool, which then means if you get accepted into the pool, you then get to start your application. Now, you then have 10 days. So once you've been accepted into the pool, congratulations, whoop, whoop, whoop. You then have 10 days to either accept or decline your invitation to apply for your visa for Canada. I feel like a lot of people get to this point and then they're like, 10 days to apply, that's kind of quick. Didn't really expect it to be, go that quickly. And then they decline it and then they try and do it again. And then it's like, it's a lot harder because I don't know if they like check to see if you've done it again, or if they see the same name come up. Like, I don't know how it works. All I know is that just wait until you're actually ready to apply. So yeah, you've entered into the pool now. You've been accepted to apply. Once you've then been accepted to apply and you accept that invitation, which is what you have to do. You have to click a link and, keep checking your account and accept the invitation. Once you've accepted that invitation, you only have 20 days. I think it's 20 days. Yeah. You have 20 days to complete your visa application. That's not a long time if you haven't done your research as to what you need for the documents that you need to upload in order for them to even consider you. And it is a lot. I mean, I had already done my research prior, so I was aware of what things I needed in order to get everything done within the 20 days. So I will go through a list of things. They do give you a list. So once you've accepted and everything, they will then, they will upload certain information to your account, basically like a checklist of all the things that you will need in order to, continue the application process. So I'm going to go through a few of the things. Forgive me if I haven't listed everything in this video. I'm just going off my notes and going off the top of my head. But the main things that you're going to need, obviously, are a passport and another form of identification. So like a driver's license, a provisional license. You're going to need, I think it's 2 different types of ID. So just make sure you have your passport and something else. You need proof of address, an address that you've been staying at for, I'm guessing, like a good amount of time, wherever like your bills go to, your bank statements, anything that has your name and your address on it. You also need a police certificate. Now, this was the thing that kind of like worried me a little bit, because like I said, I'd done my research, so I knew I needed to get it. I just didn't realize that it would take a while for it to come in the post. It's not something that you can just get online, which I find absolutely stupid, because why can't I just go online, type in a bit of information, just so you can tell me that I don't have a criminal record? Babe, I know I don't have a criminal record. I know Jeenies does not have a criminal record. Remy Jean does not have a criminal record. Why do I need to pay £60 sterling to get a piece of paper that just tells you what I could have told you myself? And I know this world is crazy, people lie and whatever, but like, you should be able to go online and find out if somebody has a criminal record or not. I just think it's a bit silly that I had to pay £60. It is 60 British pounds, guys, to get a police certificate. In the post, you need the physical form. They're not asking for like, you know, an online thing. You need the physical form, and you then need to scan it. So you need to go on like a scan app on your phone or something, or take a really good picture, and you need to upload it. Now, it did take about 2 weeks, so let's say 20 days, and it took about 2 weeks for my police certificate to come. There's 14 days. That means I only had about a week left. Now, what they do let you do in some circumstances, if you have uploaded everything by the date that they've given you, and then there's like one thing that you're waiting on, but you can prove that you're actually waiting on this thing, like my police certificate, I had to upload a document of my receipt showing that I had made the payment for my police certificate. It just hadn't arrived yet, and they were completely fine with that. So they are quite lenient in terms of like what you can get done within the time frame, as long as you have proof that you are doing these things. So yeah, police certificate. You're also going to need like job references. So you want to have as many as possible, or you want to have people that can vouch for your work ethic, people that you've worked with before, or people that you currently work with. So I had quite a few job references from previous jobs that I had done, and just got them to like do a little write-up for me, and I also added that in my application. You're then going to need to do your biometrics. Now, I really wish I could sit and tell you this prices like properly. We'll get into that soon, but you're gonna need to go and get your biometrics done, which is your fingerprint. It's like another form of ID. It's just crazy, this world. They just need everything. They just need so much from you, okay? It just feels a little intrusive, and I just didn't feel it. I just didn't like it, because now I feel like they have everything, but it is what it is. So yeah, I had to book an appointment. The biometrics fee was, I don't even think I have it here. I don't even know what it was. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot at all. I don't even want to say a number because it's probably wrong. But let's just say it was probably below £50 for the biometrics appointment. You then pay for this appointment online, or this fee that I think you can pay for through the IEC website. And then you book an appointment at your nearest centre. So on your account, on your IEC account, you'll be able to type in your postcode, and it will tell you your closest centre where you can go and get your fingerprint biometrics done. I had to show up pretty early. It will give you like a time to go, but you want to turn up about 20 minutes before your appointment, because you'll be surprised. There were so many people trying to get their visa. The queue was disgusting, okay? The queue was disgustingly long. And make sure you take all your documents with you. When I mean all your documents, make sure you take all your documents with you. You need to print out your biometrics appointment letter. You need to have that to hand. Like, you need to have that to hand, okay? And I think there was like a little truck outside of the centre that I went to that were offering printing services, because I didn't have a printer at home. So you can pay them, I don't know, something like £7, which is ridiculous, but they were making their money go off. You can pay like £7 and like get all your documents printed off if you've forgotten anything. So just make sure you have every single document. You do not want to be turned away, okay? So yeah, then the appointment was pretty quick and smooth. You literally go up, they do your fingerprint, they take a photo of you, and then they tell you can leave, and that is literally it. You also then want to have an address as to where you're gonna stay when you're in Canada. This doesn't have to be an address that you actually go and stay at when you arrive. It's just something so that they know, okay, like you have some sort of accommodation for when you're staying out there. I have family here, so I was quite lucky. I got to put my aunt's address on my application, so they knew that I was covered for like where I was staying. And I also got to put her details. If you don't have anyone that like anyone's details that you can put down, that's totally fine. I don't think that's an issue. Maybe if you're looking up Airbnbs or hotels or like I don't know, places to rent, you can put down like a brief address or something, and kind of print that off, which will be really good. So they do ask a few other things from you. You do need to have a minimum of 2,500 Canadian dollars in your account, and you need to be able to... My camera ran out of space, so I had to start this up again. But yeah, so you're going to need to have a minimum of 2,500 Canadian dollars in your account, and you need to be able to prove that. So bank statement, it needs to have been in your account for like nothing more than 3 months. You also need to show bank statements, nothing more than 3 months. The 2,500 is basically to show them that you have enough money to live, to kind of like I don't know, to live out there for the first few months. Also enough money to be able to show them that you can buy a plane ticket home if needed. Oh, I got pins and needles, girl. And don't ask me why I'm sitting on the floor. It's actually super comfy. But yeah. So that is like that's a non-negotiable. I think that is probably around like 1,200 British pounds or maybe 1,300 British pounds. I might be wrong. So yeah, just make sure that, you know, you've saved up or you've done what you need to do to have that money in your account prior. And I would say, obviously, probably have way more than that anyway. That's just to show them that you're covered if you need to book a flight and shit don't work out for you. But you're going to need money regardless. Like, one thing I've learned out here is the cost of living is disgusting. I might even do a whole video on that as well, because I was actually shocked when I got out here to kind of find out how things were going. Let's just say I thought the UK was bad in terms of the cost of living, but over here is crazy. So yeah, let me think of, is there anything else that you need? Oh, another important thing that you need to make sure that you have is you need travel insurance. And you need to have travel insurance for the duration of your stay. So it needs to be valid for 2 years. Now, your one thing that I should point out, your visa is only going to be valid for as long as your passport is valid for. So if your passport is due to run out before like your 2 years would be, that's how long they're going to put your visa is valid for, obviously. So make sure that you've checked that your passport is in date. If not, it might be handy to kind of do that, get a new passport before you even think about doing any of this. Mine definitely does run out. I literally had 2 years left. It was, the timings and the month was literally so spot on. However, I'm going to renew mine because I definitely feel like I'm going to extend my visa, which you can do. You can actually extend your visa for another year. So in total, you'll have 3 years in Canada. Beyond that, you would have to apply for permanent residency, which is what a lot of people do. There's different ways about going about that, but it is a lengthy process. So this isn't a lengthy process at all. You can do this quite quickly, but getting your PR is something that you actually have to sit down and put some time into. Nevertheless, I'm probably going to have to start thinking about, kind of getting my application together from now, because I've heard it's a lengthy thing to do. But yeah, so in terms of fees and stuff, it didn't cost me much at all. Honestly, I think I spent maybe less than 500 British pounds on this whole application thing. There's a work permit fee that you have to pay. And there is also the biometrics fee. And then there's another fee. I can't remember what the other one is. But there's like a few fees that you have to pay throughout the application process. So just make sure you do your research, so you're prepared for those fees and you're prepared to pay for them. Otherwise, you won't be able to give them everything that you're supposed to have given them, documents wise. So yeah, another thing that I found really helpful was I printed out every single document. Like, even if on the document it says you don't need this, I printed it out, because I'm not trying to hear anything. I'm not trying to get to no airport and somebody tell me, no, sorry sir, I have that piece of information. Okay, so I got myself a folder, everything. You want to print off your entire travel insurance. You want to print off the address you're staying at. You want to print off your job references. You want to print off your CV. You want to print off bank statements. All of this, you want to have a folder so that when you arrive in Canada, you have everything. Okay. Now, after you've completed the application and you've uploaded all your documents, it will then start going through steps of ticking things off in terms of checking through all of your documents that you've uploaded, all the information that you've given them. It will then start to go through them and kind of determine the verdict, whether they've accepted your visa or whether they've denied it. There's a number of reasons as to why they can deny your visa. That can be to do with a criminal record. That can be to do with information not adding up, or if you haven't given enough information. There could be a few things. There could definitely be a few things. However, I haven't heard of anybody saying that they haven't been accepted. I also know that if you don't get accepted, you can't reapply for a while. So just bear that in mind. You kind of want to do everything properly this time round. So yeah, I've got the balcony door open and there's like a celebration going on, so please ignore all the hustle and the bustle and the loud noises outside, okay? And yes, so once they have determined whether you are going to get your visa or not, okay, which, let me say, they got back to me. It probably took about 3-4 weeks after I had submitted all of my information. Bearing in mind I uploaded my police certificate a tad late. So everything did take a little bit of a while. But yeah, I would say maybe like 3 weeks after, let's just call it a month, just to be safe. Maybe like a month after, they had told me, I kept checking my account, which you should always do, because sometimes they need more information from you, or they've sent you a letter on there that you need to download, or appointments and stuff. So make sure you're always on there and, checking it. The day they sent me, I might even insert a clip, because girl, I was so, it's almost like I already knew that I was going to get accepted because I'd done everything that they told me to do in the application process. But it was like, it just made everything more real. Now, by then, I had already moved out of my apartment in London. I'd sold all my furniture, sold my clothes, and I literally got rid of everything. I'd moved into my best friend's house. Moved a lot of my stuff into my mum's. Like, my mum took some of my furniture. We got rid of some of hers. Like, my mum gave my mum and my sister my cat. I was serious. There was no turning me down. There was no other option other than to get this visa. So I already knew that I was going to get it. It was just like, when I read that they had accepted it and that that I'd basically got my visa, I literally was in tears. I was screaming. I'll insert a clip here of me telling my best friend. You can't see much, 'cause I think I jumped out of the camera, but it was pretty intense. But yeah, then I realized they don't actually make the decision if you can remain in Canada on a working permit for 2 years, yes, legally working. They don't make that decision until you arrive in Canada. Don't shoot the messenger. Do not even think about it. I know exactly what you're thinking. What the hell? So you mean to say I packed up all my stuff, left my apartment, left my friends, my cats, left my mama, sold all my furniture and all my belongings. It's just me and my 3 suitcases. I that's another thing. I packed really light. Just me and my 3 little piece of suitcase. Came all the way over here. Saved up my good pounds. Come all of the way over here for you to tell me you're not gonna make a decision until I land? Is crazy. It's actually crazy. You're not going to tell me if I can stay here until I'm there. So it means they can deny you access if they think anything's going on, because you got to you got to do like an interview, okay? If they suspect any weird stuff going on, they're sending you right back there, right back home where you came from. And I know for some people that might be not the greatest thing. I was shaking in my boots at this point, because I'm just like, oh my god, my anxiety. Now this was I would say the longest part of this whole process of getting my visa. So the day has come. I've getting ready to leave. I've got my 3 suitcases. My mum, my sister, and my best friend all came to the airport with me. We've had our cries. We've said our goodbyes. It was a really emotional time. Yeah, nothing like it. But I was definitely excited. But I just couldn't believe. I didn't even feel like I was moving because until I've probably settled in. Okay. Gone through the airport. The flight was fine. The flight wasn't long. How long was the flight? I think the flight was like 8 hours. Now, I'm used to traveling about 11 and a half hours to go to Los Angeles. So the 8 hours was not tedious at all. I kind of slept for majority of the way. And then when I got to the airport, now this is where it gets long. This is where my patience was running very, very, very flipping thin. Very thin, okay? So obviously, like, airports, you got to do all the going through the kiosks and all the uploading your documents and all that stuff. Cool, whatever. When you're on an IEC working visa, you have to go through immigration. Now, immigration at Canada is intense because so many people are moving over here, and I was not aware of that. So many people are moving out here, and it was so busy. People were sitting on the floor in the queue. It stunk. It was musty, and I just didn't feel cute. I felt like I needed a shower, and I was just pissed off. Okay, I was just like, yo, like, what else do you do? What else could you possibly need from me at this point, sir? I gave you my fingerprint and a police certificate. So anywho, you have to go through this one part of immigration where they give you a stamp to tell you then you need to go, which room you need to go in. Then I went into this next room, and this is where it got long. I was sitting in that queue, and yes, sitting. I probably stood for about, let's say I probably stood for about an hour. After the first hour, I was like, okay, there's no way this is going to take much longer. This has to speed up, because my auntie and my uncle came to pick me up. So they're texting me like, Rem, where are you? We're outside. Like, how long are you going to be? I'm like, I'm still in immigration. Like, the queue is crazy long. Like, I sent them a picture. I'm even going to, actually, maybe I won't, because people's faces are in it. But the queue was long, okay? Now, yeah, so I was like, I don't know, I'm trying to be as quick as possible, but the queue's crazy. Then another hour passed, so I've been in the queue for 2 hours at this point, and I'm now getting pissed because I have not gone to the toilet. I needed to pee so bad, because I don't pee on planes. I just don't do it. I just can't get up out of my seat on a flight unless I'm dying. Like, I'm remaining in my seat at all times, okay? I don't need to stretch my legs on nothing, okay? So I was desperate for a wee, and I'm telling the guy, like, can I go toilet and keep my bag in the line? He's like, no, if you leave, you need to queue back up. So I'm like, okay. Then you start to hear people kiss their teeth in line. You got kids screaming. People are farting in the queue. Oh my God, that shit was pissing me off so much. Oh my gosh. People were letting them rip. That's how long we were standing in the queue. People, listen. It was long, okay? Then I ended up realizing the two guys in front of me and a girl that was like a little further down were also English and were also here on an IEC program. And we were all kind of looking at each other like, are we supposed to be in this line? My camera looks like it's about to die. I'm going to try and speed this up and film on my phone. But we were like, are we in the correct line? Nevertheless, let's just say that whole process of waiting in that queue to be called, just to be interrogated basically by an officer, took about 4 hours. I was in that queue for 4 hours. No lies told, no exaggeration. 4 hours. 4 hours. Just for me to get a ticket, yeah, and then you get called to a certain like box office or whatever. Just for me to sit down and the man asks me, yep, can I see your documents? Flicked through them like this. He wasn't even looking, guys. Yep, and you have somewhere to stay? I said, yep. There's the address. Okay, brilliant. Yep, and just know if you're going to be traveling out, make sure you bring all your documents and make sure you have the correct visas for wherever you're going. I was like, okay, sure. He was like, yeah, have a good day. Sir, excuse me, sorry, you don't want to ask me anything else? You have nothing else to ask me? So you mean I waited 4 hours for you for you to flick your hand through my files? Yeah. No. I was not a happy bunny at all. At all. I'm going to finish filming on my phone because my camera is about to die, hun. We are filming on my XR. The camera quality is pants, so just bear with me. But yeah. So 4 hours in the queue just for him to flick through my files. But then I was free to go. And then my aunt, like I said, picked me up. And Bob's your uncle. I'm a Canadian now. Joking. I'm a British-born Caribbean in Canada. And it feels good. I guess you could say, like, in comparison to a lot of other visa processes, this one is very short, but I think it's because it's a holiday visa. It's a working holiday visa, meaning 2 years in, like, hindsight isn't a very long time. So if you're looking for something long term, do have a look at your options. Especially, you know, your options will vary depending on your Isle of Work, and yeah, kind of what you're coming over here to do. Like, if your husband lives here, go. You're sorted. Do you get it? Like, there's different things that people do. So just have a look and see what kind of visa works for you. In terms of work and stuff, there are actual jobs specifically for working the IEC program. So, but they're more based in like Vancouver, and like Alberta, I think it's called, like where the skiing resorts and stuff are. So you can actually apply to work. They tend to look for people to work at those kind of resorts and like kind of places during the holidays or during the winter periods. And that's what a lot of people come over to do. I guess it's a good way to like meet new people, have fun at the same time, and work, make some money. So yeah. One thing I will say about working over here is definitely do your research on the tax. Tax is very different over here in comparison to the UK, and I know they tax more than they do back home, so definitely do your research on those things. But yeah, I feel like if you do all of those things and you kind of follow step by step what they give you a list anyway, it's pretty easy, guys. Like, honestly, it doesn't take that long. But yeah, if you feel like you can do all of those things and you can save up, and moving over here is something that you've wanted to do, I would definitely say go for it. Definitely say do your research and save up, and maybe network online and kind of meet some people online before you come out here. One amazing thing for me has been like meeting other UK people out here, which has been really nice. I have a really good friend out here now, which you guys probably would have seen her in another vlog, but she's actually from the UK too. I met her on Bumble. I think I mentioned to you before, I downloaded Bumble because, not for dating, I have like the BFF, the best friend thing on. So it's not to meet, like, it's not to date, basically. It's to find friends in new areas if you're like traveling. And I went on there and I actually met a few lovely people. So you'll be surprised, there's a lot of us UK girlies and people in general out here in Canada. I think everyone's just trying to look for a new way of life and a new experience, and just to travel and kind of see what's out there. So far so good, but I hope you guys have found this video helpful. If there's anything I kind of missed out, make sure you leave a comment down below, and I will maybe do a part 2 in more in depth, just to do with like the fees and stuff. But you can actually just go online. I will include the website links down below so you guys can go check that out. But yeah, I hope I managed to fit in as much as possible into this video. And yeah, I will see you guys shortly. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. TTYL.